Guys, the lower quality you are, the lower quality life will appear to be. Too many people go through the world pretending that life is this low quality simulation, but in all actuality, the thing that is low quality is the mind perceiving it. The moment you upgrade in quality within you and your character begins to develop, you begin to look at life through a different spectrum, through a different hue. Everything seems more colorful. Everything seems more spectacular. Most people will look at the world and they will not see the beauty within it because they have not uncovered the beauty within themselves. So what I want to tell you is you need to focus on upgrading the quality of your character. And you do that by growing in every aspect of life in a balanced, cohesive state. So this does not mean, when I say balance, this does not mean take your foot off the gas and slow down here and there. No, it means to grow in every aspect of life on a forward trajectory going upwards. You have to understand that there's no neutrality and there's no cooling down. You're either going to keep going up and you're going to be like a rocket ship and you're going to fly into the atmosphere and you're going to keep going, or you're going to collapse and you're going to stop midway and you're going to fall back down. And so you have to understand that growth is an infinite process, and the more you can't process growth, the more you'll stagnate, the more you'll deviate, and the more you'll remain this low quality degenerative piece of shit. And so remember that you only live once, and every second you waste not moving in the direction you want to go, every second you waste staying in the places you don't want to be at, is just a reflection of your poor character. And so instead of projecting that onto the world, instead of projecting your gray-scaled mind onto the world, instead of sitting there and watching other people trying to sabotage them, instead of being that person who sits there and watches other people, be the person to make people watch you, because the way you move is so colorful that their mind just cannot fathom what it would be like to be you. You have to be that individual. You have to be that colorful. In a world full of grayscale zombies, be the individual to be the hue. You have to understand that you perceive the world as you are, not as it is. And so if you're a gray-scaled human, well, the world is going to be filtered in this gray lens, this 1915 movie that you don't want to exist within. So I'm telling you, upgrade your character to get to the level where when you actually look at life, you can see the color in it. Most people don't see the color in life because they don't see the color in themselves. It's not a life problem, it's a you problem. Until you could really uncover that and crystallize that as a fact in your fucking brain, you will forever go through life projecting your internal state onto external objects in the environment of which you have perceived. And so instead of reflecting upon yourself, you will deflect and project onto anything that seats that has you have placed your projection and the conception of what you have conceived from perceiving that, which is the reflection of self-neglection projected onto that thing. And so most people will forever go through life trying to take from others, and they'll go through life believing that someone else will be the solution. And what you really seek is wholeness. But since you have so much holes in you, you'll never actually uncover true wholeness. You'll always look for something that brings you further away from it. And every day you're going to wake up and you're going to be so collapsed. You're going to be such a smithereen individual. You're going to be in such a state of smithereens, such a state of fragmentation, that you no longer can conceive the ideation of actually being whole within yourself. You will go through life projecting your lack of wholeness onto anything that crosses your mind. And so the best thing to do is to look in a fucking mirror and realize you're going to die a low bitch if you don't do some shit to change. And you're going to project your inadequacy onto anything that reflects what you could be. And so when you see a Ferrari, it's reflecting your potential back at you, but since you believe you don't have that capacity, you're going to project your inadequacy onto the Ferrari. When you see someone who has a body you want, but you believe you can't attain that, you're going to project your inadequacy onto that. So on and so forth with everything in life. And so the best thing to do is to step the fuck up instead of be this retrograde piece of shit. Most people will sit there and they will watch and they will listen and they'll sit there in the dark and they'll pretend like they know what they're doing, but in all actuality they're lost as fuck. And so the best thing to do is to look in the fucking mirror and realize you need to get the answers from someone who has the answers. And the best thing to do is to get on the fucking program and align to the highest version of you. It's that fucking simple. Most of you guys will sit there and push back your development at the highest level. It's a reflection of inadequacy. That's a reflection of stupidity, and that's a reflection of not being able to process value and conceive value for what it is, rather than perceiving the value for what you are, because you cannot conceive what you have not perceived within yourself. And so this is why growth is important, because on the path of growth, you actually begin to perceive aspects of yourself you wouldn't have conceived within you if you weren't growing. And so most people will never actually see themselves at the highest version of themselves. They will never be able to process information which is above their level of processing information, because they cannot see themselves at a certain level because they are that fucking low level. And this is why you will depreciate and die a low level piece of shit. Every day you're gonna waste your life and you're gonna hate your life, and then someone's gonna come across you and you're gonna hate them for having what you wanted to achieve because you're just too low level to actually get the fuck up and do what you want to do to achieve it. So the best thing to do is to get the fucking answers. Life is simple, you're complicated. We simplify life at the highest level, and then we break it down into actionable steps for you to take action. Not fucking simple. Peace.